Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman received a warm welcome in New Delhi. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi even broke protocol to greet him on the tarmac. His visit comes as Indians prepare to head to the polls due before May, in an election where the economy will likely be a key issue, and Riyadh signaling its eagerness to boost trade and investments.
We understand that there are investment opportunities worth more than $100 billion in India over the next 2 years.
The kingdoms agreed to fund projects in tourism, housing and broadcast media. It's pledging support for India's investment and infrastructure fund to build roads and ports. And it's pushing ahead with an investment of $44 billion in a new oil refinery that was announced back in April last year. The projects had some delays, but the chief of Saudi Arabia's state oil firm Aramco says it will proceed.
Working with our partners, Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum and Hindustan Petroleum and ADNOC, we are very positive about our investment in India and Ratangiri with regard to the 1.2 million barrel refinery. And I'm sure there are challenges, but we are very positive about the outcome of this investment.
Riyadh also agreed to release Indian prisoners being held in Saudi jails for minor offences. And Prime Minister Modi says the two sides will work more closely on defence and security.
We have agreed to further strengthen bilateral cooperation on counter-terrorism, naval security and cybersecurity, which will be beneficial for both countries.
Creating new jobs to rein in rising unemployment has remained a challenge for the Modi administration. It's now hoping to speed up these and other investments that can kickstart growth as the Prime Minister sets his sights on another term in office. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
And Mobin joins me now here in the studio. Hi, Mobin. $100 billion over 2 years, a huge amount that Saudi Arabia has mentioned. Will they deliver?
Makes for a great headline, doesn't it?
It does.
100 billion. But look, MOUs are, you have to start somewhere, right? And he's been very careful in the words he chose too. He said, we see potential over the next 2 years. So of course, this is not binding just yet. But it is encouraging to see that the Saudi government, as part of its Vision 2030, is looking at emerging economies and looking at different sectors outside of energy. So if they're smart about it, perhaps taking bets on these economies is exactly what they need to do. Having said that, of course, given the fact that these projects are at such an early stage, these agreements or these pledges are at such an early stage, really, there's a lot that could happen between now and the time that they're implemented.
One of the signature investments that Saudi Arabia has confirmed is this oil refinery project in India. Tell us more about that. What do both sides stand to gain from it?
Well, it's a bit of a handcuff, really, but it's one that India would likely wear very happily. Look, India's been buying more and more oil from Iran, from Venezuela, and they're a growing market, as said by the Aramco CEO also. They've even secured waivers from the US to be able to bypass sanctions on those countries. So in a way, this helps Saudi Arabia to the extent that it provides a handcuff. It ensures that India will continue to buy large amounts of oil from them. For the Indian side, of course, this would mean spending less foreign exchange because refined products, let's face it, are more expensive. And so they can buy more crude, refine it locally, create more jobs. And that, of course, is also something that ties into another of those election pledges and those challenges that the Prime Minister in India has been facing.
Interesting. We know this is an election year for India. Elections are due by May sometime. How badly does India need Saudi investment?
Look, the economy is slowing. There's about 31 million people out of work based on a recent survey by the National, it's called the National Survey Sample Association, the local statistics department. And the more worrying number there is that unemployment is significantly higher in the educated classes, about more than 12% as compared to the 7% average. So of course, India needs exactly the kind of investments in manufacturing, in high value add industries that can create jobs for those people. And of course, anytime you're talking about a major energy provider a major player in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia. Of course, there's a diplomatic side to that also. So really, it's a balance of not just economic needs, but also having sort of a stable relation with the different players in that region.
Okay, Mobin, we'll have to leave it there, but thanks again for your analysis.